Hello, my family. It's lovely to see you again. Today we are reading more of the Dhammapada. Just adjust this mic right here. Today we're reading more of the Dhammapada. Last time we ended on section Better Than 1,000. And we're going to move on to section 9 and onwards, beginning with this section called Good and Evil. So let's dive right into it. I hope you're all having a beautiful day, by the way, and let's get straight into it. Good and Evil. Make haste and do what is good. Keep your mind away from evil. If one is slow in doing good, then their mind finds pleasure in doing evil. If one does something wrong, let them not do it again and again. Let them not find pleasure in their sin. Painful is the accumulation of wrongdoings. If one does something good, let them do it again and again. Let them find joy in their good work. Joyful is the accumulation of good work. One may find pleasure in evil as long as their evil has not given fruit. But when the fruit of evil comes, then that one finds evil indeed. One may find pain in doing good as long as their good has not given fruit. But when the fruit of good comes, then that one finds good indeed. Then one finds good indeed. My bad. Hold not a sin of little worth, thinking, this is little to me. The falling of drops of water will in time fill a water jar. Even so the foolish man becomes full of evil, although they gather it only little by little. Hold not a deed of little worth, thinking, this is little to me. The falling of drops of water will in time fill a water jar, even so as the wise man becomes full of good, although they gather it little by little. Let one avoid the dangers of evil, even as a merchant carrying much wealth, but with a small escort, avoids the dangers of the road, or as one who loves his life avoids the drinking of poison. As one who has no wound on his hand cannot be hurt by the poison he may carry in his hand, since poison hurts not where there is no wound, one who has no evil cannot be hurt by evil. The fool who does evil to one who is good, to one who is pure and free from sin, the evil returns to them like the dust thrown against the wind. Some people are born on this earth. Those who do evil are reborn in hell. The righteous go to heaven, but those who are pure reach nirvana. Neither in the sky, nor deep in the ocean, nor in a mountain cave, nor anywhere, can a man be freed from the evil they have done. Neither in the sky, nor deep in the ocean, nor in a mountain cave, nor anywhere, can we be free from the power of death. I just want to reiterate 2 lines prior. Some people are born on this earth. Those who do evil are reborn in hell. The righteous go to heaven, but those who are pure reach nirvana. In Buddhism, we don't have heaven and hell, obviously, like the conceptualized version that most of us grow up with in the Christian conception, that there is a hell after this physical body dies that our soul goes to, or that there's a heaven that after our physical body dies our soul goes to. Buddhism doesn't have that conceptualization. In most Buddhism, and in fact I prefer Zen Buddhism's take on the idea of rebirth, is that in every single moment we are reborn. We are reborn with each conscious awareness that we have. Each moment that we're aware of where we are. And that place that we're reborn in, with consciousness in each moment, is either a hell or a heaven. And the place that we make with our consciousness is hell or heaven, depending on how we act and perceive and are part of the world. We don't do evil in life and have no repercussion and then die and go to hell. We, in every moment, create heaven or hell with our actions in this life and all lives going forward. So to say that those who do evil are reborn in hell is to say that those who do evil are reborn in this world continuously with their mind in hell, because they do evil deeds, and that is therefore reflected upon them. The righteous going to heaven implies that those who are involved in good deeds create heaven in this space right now, and therefore, that comes from acting well in the world and that being reflected back upon them. And finally, those who are pure reach nirvana, is the transcendence of both good and evil, is seeing through the duality of both and reaching peace, which is non-contemplation of any thought, good or evil. Neither in the sky, nor deep in the ocean, nor in a mountain cave, nor anywhere can we be free from the evil we have done. Neither in the sky, nor deep in the ocean, nor in a mountain cave, nor anywhere can we be free from the power of death. So it is up to us to purify ourselves. That's the end of the section, good and evil. The following section, very aptly, is titled Life, carrying on from the fact that we can never be free from the power of death. Let's see, maybe if we can. Section 10, Life. All beings tremble before danger. All fear death. When one considers this, one does not kill or cause to kill. All beings fear before danger. Life is dear to all. When one considers this, one does not kill or cause to kill. He who for the sake of happiness hurts others who also want happiness shall not hereafter find happiness. And those who for the sake of happiness do not hurt others who also want happiness shall hereafter find happiness. Never speak harsh words, for once spoken they may return to you. Angry words are painful, and there may be blows for blows. If you can be in silent quietness, like a broken gong that is silent, you have reached the peace of nirvana, and your anger is peace. Just as a keeper of cows drives his cows into the fields, old age and death drive living beings far into the fields of death. When a fool does evil work, they forget that they are lighting a fire wherein they must burn one day. I really like that. When a fool does evil work, they forget that they are lighting a fire wherein they must burn one day. He who hurts with weapons those who are harmless and pure shall soon fall into one of these 10 evils: fearful pain or infirmity, loss of limbs or terrible disease, or even madness, the loss of the mind, the king's persecution, a fearful indictment, the loss of possessions or the loss of relations, or fire from heaven that may burn his house. And when the evildoer is no more, then they are reborn in hell. Reiterating the first sentence of that. Those who hurt with weapons and those who are harmless and pure shall fall into one of those 10 evils. Reborn in hell in each moment. In each moment we have the wheel of sharp weapons return upon us for acting with evil intent upon the world. Then we ourselves must be reborn in heaven as we ourselves must be reborn in hell as retribution. We must understand our actions, and we understand our actions by having them circle back upon us so that we may feel what we have done to others. Neither nakedness, nor entangled hair, nor uncleanliness, nor fasting, nor sleeping on the ground, nor covering the body with ashes, nor ever squatting can purify one who is not pure from doubts and desires. But although one may wear fine clothing, if they live peacefully and are good, self-possessed, have faith, and are pure, if they do not hurt any living being, then they are a holy Brahmin, a hermit of seclusion, a monk called a bhikkhu. Bhikkhu is just the Pali language, I believe, for monk, or one taking those vowels. Bhikkhu and bhikkhuni, the female equivalent. Is there in this world one so noble that they ever avoid all blame, even as a noble horse avoids the touch of the whip? Have fire like a noble horse touched by the whip, by faith, by virtue and energy, by deep contemplation and vision, by wisdom and by right action, you shall overcome the sorrows of life. Those who make channels for water control the water. Makers of arrows make the arrows straight. Carpenters control their timber, and the holy control their soul. That's section 10. Moving on to section 11, beyond life, following on from that section which was just life. We started with good and evil, life, and now beyond life. How can there be laughter? How can there be pleasure when the whole world is burning? When you are deep in darkness, will you not ask for a lamp? Consider this body, a painted puppet with jointed limbs, sometimes suffering and covered with ulcers, full of imaginings, never permanent, forever changing. This body is decaying, a nest of diseases, a heap of corruption, bound to destruction and to dissolution. All life ends in death. Look at these grey, white, dried bones, like dried, empty gourds thrown away at the end of summer. Who will feel joy in looking at them? A house of bones is this body, bones covered with flesh and with blood. Pride and hypocrisy dwell in this house, and also old age and death. The glorious chariots of kings wear out, and the body wears out and grows old all the same. But the virtue of the good never grows old. And thus they can teach the good to those who are good. If one tries not to learn, then they grow old just like an ox. Their body indeed grows old, but their wisdom does not grow. Their body indeed grows old, but their wisdom does not grow, if one does not learn as he grows old. I have gone round in vain the cycles of many lives, ever striving to find the builder of the house of life and death. How great is the sorrow of life that must die! But now I have seen thee, house builder. Never more shalt thou build this house. The rafters of sin are broken. The ridgepole of ignorance is destroyed. The fever of craving is past, for my mortal mind is gone to the joy of the immortal nirvana. Those who in their youth did not live in self-harmony, and who did not gain the true treasures of life, are later like long-legged old herons, standing sad by a lake without any fish. Those who in their youth did not live in self-harmony, and who did not gain the true treasures of life, are later like broken bows, ever deploring old things past and gone. Self-harmony. Learning always. That is the end of section 11, Beyond Life. And I think we're going to end it with one more section. This next section is called Self-Possession. If one holds themselves dear, then let them guard themselves well. Of the 3 watches of their time, let them at least watch over one. Let them find first what is right, and then they can teach it to others, avoiding thus the useless pain and suffering of this world. If one makes themselves as good as they tell others to be, then they in truth can teach others. Difficult indeed is self-control. Only one themselves can be the master of themselves. Who else from outside could be their master? When the master and servant are one, then there is true help and self-possession. Any wrong or evil one does is born within themselves and is caused by themselves, and this crushes the foolish person as a hard stone grinds the weaker stone. The evil that grows in a man is like the malava creeper, which entangles the sala tree. Malava, sala tree, we don't know what that is, but we don't need to know. The evil that grows in man is like like ivy that entangles the tree. Ivy that entangles the tree. And the man is brought down to the condition in which his own enemy would wish him to be. I'm going to read that whole part again. The evil that grows in a man is like the ivy creeper, which entangles the tree. And the man is brought down to that condition in which his own enemy would wish him to be. It is easy to do what is wrong, to do what is bad for oneself, but very difficult to do what is right, to do what is good for oneself. The fool who, because of their views, scorns the teachings of the holy, those whose soul is great and righteous, gathers fruit for their own destruction, like the kashta reed whose fruits mean its death. The kashta reed. It must be some reed that when it fruits, it means it's at the end of its life cycle, and so its fruit means its own death. I'm going to read that again as well. The fool who, because of their views, scorns the teaching of the holy, of those whose soul is great and righteous, they gather fruits for their own destruction. The fool who scorns these teachings. For their actions will breed fruits like the kashta reed, whose fruits mean its own death. If we bear fruits of ignorance and evil and ill will and scorn those teachings which can help us, then we will bear the fruit of death upon our own life. By oneself, the evil is done, and it is oneself who suffers. By oneself, the evil is not done, and by oneself, one becomes pure. The pure and the impure come from oneself. No one can purify another but themselves. I want to read that again as well, because we're really getting into good points here. By oneself, the evil is done, and it is oneself who suffers. By oneself, the evil is not done, and by oneself, one becomes pure. The pure and the impure come from oneself. No man nor woman can purify another, only oneself. Let no one endanger their duty, the good of their own soul, for the good of another, however great. Let no one endanger their duty for the good of their soul, for the good of another, however great. Let no one endanger their duty, the good of their soul, for the good of another, no matter how great. When they have seen the good of their own soul, let them follow it with earnestness. I want to read that last bit again, just with more pointing to us. Let us never endanger our duty, the good of our soul, for the good of another's, however great. For when we have seen the good of our soul, let ourselves follow it with earnestness. Follow your own soul with earnestness when you discover the goodness of it. The goodness of your own soul will be what directs you on the path of the Dhammapada. Thank you for always being here with me, my family. Thank you for learning with me. I'm so grateful for you. Sharing these teachings really means a lot to me. Almost more than the music. To be honest, it does. It means more than the music. If anyone out there can find the goodness of their soul through these teachings, then I will have done my job. I love you guys so much. Thank you for joining Raise Mundane. Thank you for always learning. It's a nice 23-minute one. We did 4 sections. I think we're going to do 4, maybe 5 sections this time. I like reading longer and longer. So next time we start section 13. Arise, watch, followed by section 14, the Buddha, and 3 more sections probably. We are, looks like we're pretty much almost halfway as well, so hell yeah. Love you guys. The Dhammapada. Get it in real life if you haven't got it. Read along with me. I'll see you all soon.